The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Spartan Media Network from Playfly Sports.
Lob past Cooper. Oh, he slams it right over the top of Golden. 15 on the shot clock. Fears down the lane. Right at Golden. Back shot good. Oh, my goodness. What a play by Fears. Here's a three from the wing. It's good. MSU gets another three.
Jackson Kohler with his fourth three of this game.
He got it.
It is time for the Auto Owners Insurance presentation of the Tom Izzo Show. Tonight's show is sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance, Simple Human Sense. The Tom Izzo Show is also brought to you by Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Labatt Blue Light, we're brewed for the roast. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of MSU Athletics. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. And Coors Light, choose chill. Now, with Michigan State head basketball coach Tom Izzo, here's the voice of Spartan basketball, Will Tieman.
Good evening to everybody around the great state of Michigan and beyond, and welcome into Tom's Show. It's always brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, along with my co-host, Mike Garland. And gosh, there's so much to talk about. Number one, it's good to be home. How is it to be home and you're in your own bed after being gone about a week? And
yeah, we got back at I got home about 6
Yeah.
in the morning, 6:15 yesterday morning, and it was good to get home. It was actually a quicker flight home than I thought. We had a big tailwind. It was only 3.5 hours, but we had to get de-iced, and it takes time to get out of there. We played late here, it was 6 o'clock there, which was 9 o'clock here, and we didn't play great. I didn't think the first half. It was strange because we really practiced well, and we played in Seattle. I thought played pretty well most of that game, and stayed there the night before the game. The 49ers were in our place, and ironically, I ran into Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh is now the new head coach of the Nashville Titans, but Robert went to Northern Michigan University, and then he was a GA at Michigan State. So we tracked each other down, and he's a little younger than I am, but we both got done with our meetings Friday night because we had Saturday. We played at 3 and they played at 5, something like that. So I would have liked to have gone to the game, but it was really interesting talking to him too. And he told me he was up for a couple jobs, and so that brought a Michigan State tinge to it. And of course, tried to get a hold of Walker, our running back, who had an unbelievable game. And so that was in Seattle. We left right after the game, drove to Portland because the next day we were going to go visit Nike, their campus, and we practiced there. And then went back to the hotel that night, watched the national championship game, left the next morning to go to Eugene, and or no, maybe it was, I don't know, somewhere along the lines there. I guess we were in Eugene when the national championship game was on. So Sunday night we might be watching the NFL. But it was really a good trip. Guys were great. Our fans were phenomenal. I mean, I did something I've never done in my 30 years, and that was we're in Seattle, and there were so many people from Michigan State there. They were chanting, and it was so. At the end of the game, they all kind of gathered because they were all over the place. And as we were walking out, we get in the locker room, and I'm addressing my team, and that these chants kept coming: "Go green, go white." And I said, "Man, we should go out there." And all the players said, "Yeah." So everybody ran out there and spent some time with our fans, and it was just something that was unique. And I kind of realized then, even the coach at Washington texted me the next day. I kind of realized then how lucky I am. We probably had as many or more fans at that game than they did, and then at Oregon it was not quite as big, but there was a big enough contingent. And so, you know what? You win 2 games out there, everything's good. Unfortunately, now that puts more pressure on you to win the next game, because now we're getting near the halfway point and we're in the hunt. And to stay in the hunt, you got to win the games you're supposed to win. And home games are you got to win, and then you got to somehow split on the road or something. And that's usually the recipe for being able to play for a championship. So my big thing right now is we're still too far away from that. I just want to get better every day. And Mike, you've been in a couple practices. Today's practice was pretty good for a day after getting back at 6 a.m. I thought the guys had a lot of spirit.
Yeah,
got great guys. Not always the greatest players, but great guys. And and sometimes that turns into winning games and winning formula. So
there was a couple other parts that were fun on the trip. Part of that Nike thing, we got to go to the Nike store. And as you can imagine, there's all kinds of stuff there. And because we were guests, we got 40% off. And there's no sales tax. And it was kind of fun to watch Tom Izzo with a cart, pushing it around.
Yeah, the problem is all I did was buy stuff for my grandchildren, and I didn't buy a thing for me. That's where you buy for wives and kids and grandkids. So I went home barefooted. I didn't even get a pair of shoes.
And Tom talked about the team all coming out. And he said he's never done that before after the Washington win. Well, one of the traditions, and we talked about this on his pregame show before the Oregon game, is that if, like you're a freshman or a first-time player, you've never been to a facility, after this, basically the last practice, you run to the top. That's part of the deal. It's been going on forever. Well, none of us had been to that.
They probably call that hazing nowadays. There's a lawyer in here. Forget it, man. I gave them the option to go, if you know what I mean.
But not only did everybody go, Tom Izzo went too. The entire staff went, and the players.
I'd never been there.
Nobody had ever been there before. I've never seen that before.
So, Will, you went to the top?
I did not.
You see
I
never saw you go to the top.
You know how Maryland is on the student section?
Yeah.
Ask him. The student section at Washington.
Straight up.
It was straight up, man. I got to the top and I said, what the hell did I do here?
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. Yeah, that was fun. I think the players enjoyed that. It was a good team building. Last year we went and lost 2 games. This year we won 2 games. But now we got to regroup, and we'll probably say another word or two about that trip. But after that, it's on to Maryland.
Yep. By the way, we're live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU Coaches Shows, make a reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. And basketball fans, before and after all the games, need to stop here at One North Kitchen and Bar. We're just a mile from campus, free parking, and scratch cooking makes it a grand slam. This is a Tom Izzo Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Makes sense for you.
This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting "shoot it," and the driveway heroes who still call raindrops on every brick. Make fun of a ref through the TV like he can hear you, then miss 3 straight free throws on your buddy's hoop. Argue every foul, celebrate every layup, and somehow think you're running the offense from Section 312. But that's the beauty of it. Basketball isn't just about the court, it's the noise, the passion, and the Labatt you're holding while you live it. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Touchdown! From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
Here you go. Go.
Run, James!
No. First base.
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Hey, Spartan fans. It's college basketball season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of airballs and alley-oops. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the courtside action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU basketball games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU basketball. Go green, go white. SeatGeek.
And welcome back to the Coach Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners Insurance, simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you. Well, we have a lot of things to talk about, but we also had tragedy in the MSU family. And I know, Tom, you'd like to say something about it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you probably have heard about our hockey coach, and one of the assistants, Dan, is just a great guy, a great family guy. He's got a wife and 2 kids that are 11 and 8, and we suddenly lost them when I was out west. I talked to Adam more than a couple times now, and still not sure exactly what happened, and just didn't wake up. And I say that it's hard, boy. It's hard. I mean, I think it's not as hard on me, of course, as it is on their family. And can't imagine a wife telling her 2 kids, that happened. And now the team's got to, try to put it all together, and they're going to honor him, I think, at the game tomorrow night. But you still got to coach the game and play the game. And the game becomes a little less important. Unfortunately, it takes sometimes crushing things to make us realize that. But just my hat off to his family. I know they've got a GoFundMe thing, and I know we're going to all get together and try to help with his kids. And but Adam has done an incredible job. He's got such a good staff, and he's got a really good team. And I think thanks to that, they'll help his wife and everyone else, his kids. But it's going to be tough sledding for them. And so I just want to give my condolences publicly. And I want to say to each and every one of you, say a little prayer for those kids, because it's going to be a rough time for them. And I think he was a hell of a guy, and I think he would appreciate that from us. So,
Dan Sturgis, Director of Hockey Operations. Back with more Coach's Show in a moment. You're listening to the Tom Izzo Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Calling hard seltzer lovers. Searching for the tastiest seltzer? Look no further. Neutral Vodka Seltzer is absolutely delicious. Made with real vodka and real juice, Neutral keeps it tasty with every sip. With flavors like pineapple, watermelon, orange, and lime, there's something for everyone. Neutral. Keep it tasty. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch. Neutral flavored vodka and carbonation, 4.5% alcohol by volume, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
And we're back live on the Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Well, Tom, we have our first audience question.
I love it.
Oh,
You're
I'm sorry.
up.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Mary Lou Moore,
Mary
crazy
Lou.
MSU lady, as some people know me. But anyway, and I usually ask the question, when you coming back to Austin? I'm from Austin, Texas, but I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer that.
Well,
I'd
like to go to Austin.
Would you come back to Austin,
Sure,
please? 'Cause
sure.
we have a lot of people that would really
Well,
cheer for you also.
Well, Texas has been good to us.
I
yes.
know.
Well, we have some great games down there.
I actually have a different question from my daughter, Amanda Guegbu, who is a 2009 grad, native Texan, 4-year member of the Zone. And she now would like to know, since she has a 1.5-year-old, do you have any what's your favorite time with your granddaughters? Or do you have a special moment, even with the first one, that really sticks out?
God, I got to be home long enough.
I know.
It's the problem, but I got one that's 2.5 and one that's now 4 months, and they're both great. I mean, it really is what everybody told me. The grandkids are awesome, and could care less if I win or lose. Could care less if it's cold or everybody complaining about the cold. She don't complain about the cold.
Yeah.
It's grandpa to make her a snowman. She's glad there's snow, for God's sake. So she's got part Uper in her, which I'm happy about, to be honest with you. But, I don't know. I mean, every moment I get to see her is a good moment. Thank God my daughter lives in Lansing, so I get to see her a decent amount, never enough, but a decent amount. And I just, I enjoy her. I enjoy when she comes to the games and wears her little headphones and all that. And it's been all good. So that's a good question. I don't have a great answer, but
Well, I know. I just have my first one. She's 1.5 years, but I totally get it. Everything is.
there you go. So we'll keep enjoying them.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, here's something I have said to both of his grandchildren. I grab their hands and I say all the things you say to little babies. And then I add, thank you so much for putting your grandfather in a good mood. It makes everything so much better.
Yeah, I think the players would love it if I brought them into halftime sometimes. So we might as well talk about the elephant in the room. So how many want to know how good of a player my mother really is? Huh? So I'll explain to you what happened, because Mike has been a part of it. But, TV always wants these halftimes. They want in the huddles. And usually I am I'm never careful. I tell them, hey, what you see is what you get, man. But
no, don't think that.
Yeah, but usually I have friends in TV. Now we're on the West Coast, and I don't know as many people that are the producers in that. So they have to ask you if they can get in your huddle, but they almost demand it. So, I mean, to me, that means don't swear. Because my mother, who's 99, does get mad at me once in a while when she lip reads. And so I was pretty careful on that. But I did tell Kurt, exactly what was said, but I say it to him and a lot of other guys, and so did Mike when he was my assistant. I mean,
Don't believe that. I didn't talk that way.
Yeah. And so I just said, you couldn't guard my mother. And by the way, my mother's 99. And so the thing goes viral, and then they start putting pictures up. So I called my mom. I said, Mom, you're famous, man, And my sister calls me and she says, Mom said now you can ride on her coattails instead of the other way around. So, you know what? I never, this day and age, I don't know if it's old school or not, but what I say in practice every day, I'm true to myself, and I say it in the games and I say it whenever, and I'm sure that meant nothing to him, but I'm sure it meant something to other people. So, I guess I could publicly apologize, but I'd have to be lying to you that was a one-time thing but that's happened. I told Draymond Green that, and my mother was younger then. But it's, one of those things that coaches have as their deals. And so what I did is I made a big poster of all those pictures that people have put out there. And I enlarged it so that my mother now, she's finally at 99 and a half in a little home. She was living with my sister. She's in a little home, and she really enjoys it because she's around people. She's 100% with it. And so I told my sister, I'm going to make this poster, and then it'll be a conversation piece when all the guys and gals get around and they do their exercises. They do a little, bowling, and they got all these things. And so I made it today, and I'm sending it out tomorrow. I'm going to get it framed for her and send it to her. But it has been kind of funny, but maybe it's at somebody else's expense. And my only thing I would say to that, well, then guard somebody, and I won't say it.
Well, Chief, as you well know, people laugh about it, but we have had players over the years that could not guard Dorothy. I mean, literally. You guys won't believe it.
Thanks, Mike. I love you, Mike. Thanks for saving me, brother. But it really wasn't meant as derogatory as most people would take it, because nobody's in a gym. Nobody's in a locker room. Those are sacred places. And huddles used to be sacred places. But I'll just tell you this now. Maybe that was a little tough on them, but I mean, I've had some players been tough on me in the huddles too, right, Mike?
Yeah, it gets a little heated.
But it's all fun and games. That what I'm going to do before I send this out, I'm going to have Kerr send a little note and sign it for me. So it'll be great. I love Kerr. He's one of the best kids in America, and you try different ways to motivate kids.
We should have had Dorothy call in today.
Yeah, we
talk about it.
I should have brought Kerr here too. He could meet her online,
No question.
But I can only tell you this: all good, no bad. And I had a meeting with Kerr today about some things that he's really a good shooter, and if he can improve his defense, as we're struggling with a couple guys in that area, I mean, we'll be a better team. And so sometimes you yell at somebody, sometimes you hug and kiss them. And you find all the different ways to motivate people. And if my mother works, I'm going to use her a lot in the next couple of years. So
what a compliment.
Just wanted to clear the air so nobody thought that I was all upset. I'm pretty open on what I say and do. And yet I'm going to question a little bit of the producers that there's probably certain things you should put on, certain things you shouldn't. But believe me, there were a lot worse things said during than that. So I'm cool with that.
Well, it was funny in our end. We were sitting next to the bench, and Matt was by the bench, and Stinger goes, he just said Tank can't guard his mother. And I went, she's 99. So anyway, okay.
Yeah.
I guess you had to be there for that one time.
I was there. And I think somebody in the media, but I didn't realize it, took offense to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And started asking me some questions after.
Yeah.
And I didn't back down one bit. Don't really like a lot of the media sometimes. So I just told them exactly, and I said, go talk to him. This is an open door policy. You know that in the Big Ten, I'm the only school left that leaves his locker room open after games. You know that.
Yep.
You know, some people bring their.
Wow.
We've always had the locker room open.
Wow.
And then about 10 years ago, people, as people started getting in the locker room and wanted to be there for all the dirt, everybody stopped and just brings 2 players up to the podium.
Wow.
And I said, I told my writers, I don't like you guys, but it'll be over my dead body. If the kids are going to play and kids are going to want to be pros and kids are going to have to learn how to deal with issues, they better learn how to deal with you guys and you gals that are in the locker room. So my locker room has been open for 31 years. And if it's 32, 3, 4, 5, it's going to be open till then. And if somebody writes something bad, it's still going to be open, because I think that my obligation isn't to the writers as much as to teaching my players that you have to learn how to handle things, and that's the way it is.
There you go. Well, it's now time for Alumni Hall Trivia, and today's winner will receive tickets to our next game, which is Saturday against Maryland. Big game, and you get a $25 gift card to the Alumni Hall. So here is the question. We're counting down to 500, the number of wins at the Breslin Center. We're now, I think, at 496. So here's the question as we get close to that magic number of 500 wins at the Breslin Center. The question is, which Michigan State player has the record for the most points scored in the Breslin Center? That's the question. The question is, which Spartan has scored the most points in the Breslin Center in a single game? Single game. Okay. And no looking at your phone. We'll be back with more of the Tom Izzo Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. In a moment, you're on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Experiencing a Spartans game is a lot like life. We honor traditions. We shed tears for a loss, but also for a win. And every time we step on the field, it's a chance for greatness. Farm Bureau Insurance sees the connection and is a proud supporter of Michigan State athletics. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
And thanks for joining us for the Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And don't forget to unlock cash back on every purchase with MSU FCU's Cashback Plus, an exclusive benefit for MSU FCU members, and you will earn big on your daily spending. Only at MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. Well, for the house, to win some tickets and a $25 gift certificate to the Alumni Hall. The question is, as we get close to 500 wins at the Breslin Center, of all those games, which Spartan player has scored the most points in that building in a single game? So we got some people, I think, ready to take a guess, Tom. That would be you.
Okay. All right. So I have a question. I don't know the answer to that question.
Well,
so, all right. So you said you don't know anybody from the West Coast. Well, you don't know that many people. I went to the University of Oregon, and I watched your game the other night, most of it at least. And that's quite an arena. I still don't know what does it mean when it says, did you see where it says deer in the woods?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You know, Phil Knight, who
Yeah.
put that building on there, his son died in a swimming accident. And so he built that. And
But what does that mean, deer in the woods?
well, it's, you know, up there, as you know, there's a lot of woods and there's a lot of trails.
Yeah, I know.
And they put the trees are on the court. You
Yeah, I
know
know
that.
what the area's like.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell that means then. How's that?
But I thought maybe they were saying that I'm glad they're not saying you're all deer in the headlights or something.
No. I think it's all complimentary. I think probably had something to do. I think his son was a lover of the trees.
I have a real question here.
Okay.
And my question is, how would you compare the original Big Ten of 10 teams to today's expanded version? And is the current Big Ten too big, along with the other major conferences? What's your take on all that?
Well, I liked the Big Ten when it was the Big Ten, and the reason I liked it is you played a round-robin schedule, and the champion was a true champion. Now you play 3 teams twice, and if you get the wrong 3 or the right 3, it's a monstrous advantage. You play some of the best teams. Maybe you play them at home, and maybe you play them on the road. So I hate to say this, whether it's us or somebody else, a lot of times now the champion will be determined by the schedule instead of by the performance on the court or on the football field. And that I don't like. I don't like not playing everybody twice. I like going to people's arenas. And so sometimes, like this year, we play Illinois only at home, Ohio State at home. Who else do we do? Maryland's only at home. You know, there's games like that that'll only be at home, and we go to Purdue and we play Michigan both places. We play Rutgers both places. Those are our double plays. So I personally stick up for the Big Ten, so I'm going to support what we've done. And we had to go to bigger conferences for a million reasons. Money, some of it, but TV and all that. But if I had my druthers, I like a total round robin. I like playing everybody twice. I like becoming a champion because you did it on the court, not because you did it in the schedule. Okay?
There you go.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Go Ducks. Yeah.
So anyway, are you dude?
Sean Respert.
Well, that wasn't very hard.
God,
Yeah,
I
Respert.
didn't even know that. I said it was Respert or Smith, but
Respert?
It was Sean Respert. He got 43 points against Minnesota, February 23rd in 94. We won that game, by the way, 85-68. And
you know, the guy that's coming in this week, a kid named Coit, has had 44, 41, 37, and 30 in 4 games. So we got another guy that can score it, and he's about 5'8", and he can really shoot it.
so since we're talking about Sean, do we have any more questions? No. Real quick, let me ask you about the reunion game coming up. That's always a big deal.
It is a big deal, and we've got, I think, 180 or 90 kids coming back. You know, some managers, a lot of players, and some guys that have called that are coming back. They haven't been back in a while, you know. But for the most part, boy, we get our guys back, and that's one of the neat things about the job too. So those fans on the road are really neat. But when the former players come back, it's, you know, it's not to be sappy about it, but it's like, you know, your grandkids coming home or something. You know, it's like your kids coming back if they lived out of town. I mean, a lot of these guys got big jobs, and live in different places, and you watch how successful they become outside of basketball, and it's pretty cool to see them come back, you know. And they've always got great stories for our players too, you know. They, Moby Dick, you know, it started out he was a minnow, and then as the story goes, you know, they hit a 10-foot shot that ends up a 20-foot shot that ends up a half-court shot, you know. And those kind of things are so much fun for me to listen to and watch. But when it gets serious, and usually Friday night, a lot of them come into practice. And at the end of practice, I introduce them to our guys. And I said, you guys got the stage, you know, and what did you learn? What did you hate about here that now you love? And 99% of them talk about, you know, it was so hard. You were such a jerk. And now,
Well, it was the truth.
Yeah. And now I realize where I got to and why I got here. And I realize how I am to my own kids, and how accountability and some discipline and all those things matter. And I'm like that with my kid. You know, that's the funniest part when I watch all the dumb things that they say in the media, and that, you know, they don't want discipline. I mean, look at our country. They don't want accountability. And yet for your own kids, your kids, you'd want that. And yet they don't like seeing that when it's someone else. You know, it's not easy to be great. It's not even easy to be good. And it's damn hard to be elite. And that's the goal when you're at Michigan State. You know, that's just the way it is. That's the goal. I mean, I say it 100 times a year. I say it at practices. You know, if you want to win games, go somewhere else. We try to hang banners here.
Right.
And that's the way it is. And that's what you sign up for. And with that goes a lot of roadkill.
Well, you know, Chief, we talk a million times. If you look around the country in any sport, the same teams win over and over and over. It's a reason. They're a culture. There is accountability. There is accountability. The kids and the guys are going to get yelled at. They're going to get humiliated. They're going to have to do some things that most people don't want to do. And right now in society, nobody wants to see that. Oh, you mistreating them. You're this, you're that. Okay. Well, when young men go into the Marines and their special forces and stuff, do you think they kiss them and put them to bed and then tell them to go wherever they have to go and survive? That's not how you do it. Trust me.
Yeah, you know, you've been out of it for 3 years now. It's even changed since you've been out of it now. You know, we have to, everything has to be handled a little differently now, not because it's wrong, but because they think people will leave. You know, if you don't do this and don't do that. I think the greatest thing I love about my place here is when those guys come back. I mean, I have 2 reunions a year. I have one during football. When most schools don't have 2 reunions in 10 years. They might have a championship reunion. Mine is every year. And everybody thinks it's for different reasons. My biggest reasons are those guys are so good. And usually the biggest problems that I had are the best guys that talk to our guys.
Right.
And it's so powerful, and it's so good, and it's so much fun. I could just sit there and listen all night long, you know. And I wish everybody kind of understood that nothing comes for nothing. You know, you earn what you get, whatever jobs you're in. You earn what you get with your families. My guys earn what they get. And there's not a lot of easy routes to get to where you want to get. You know, I ask my guys all the time, what do you want to be? Well, the biggest answer I get, I want to win an NCAA championship. I want to be a pro. Okay. You know, there's about a little percent of those. There's about this much percent of them that get there. And once they give me a license to help them achieve their goals, it's full steam ahead, baby. Full steam ahead. And that's what I've enjoyed here. That's what I've appreciated. And I couldn't get away with it if it wasn't for good staff, if it wasn't for good administration, good fans, but mostly if it wasn't for good former players that come back and really kind of explain what you don't understand. I heard a good one the other day. This was really good. I was talking to a guy, and he was like 50 years old, and he said, yeah, I tell these kids, tell these players, you know, have you ever been 50? I'm thinking, where the hell's he going with this, you know?
Yeah, right.
And he said, no, no, I've never been 50. Well, I have been 20. I've been 20. So you haven't been where I'm at, but I've been where you're at. And my knowledge and my experience is a lot better than yours.
Right.
And I thought that was a hell of a point. You know, it wasn't mine. It was somebody else's.
Right.
Now I stole it. I'm going to use it. I promise you that. But it was really interesting. You know, you've never been 50. Well, you learn a lot between 20 and 50. And I'm trying to tell you what I learned. And it's fun. But if you got good relationship with your players, and we do spend a lot of time with our players, if you got those relationships, you get through to 90% of them. And I mean, Kurt didn't quit the team because he can't guard my mother. You know, he didn't. You know what? I bet you Kurt works harder too.
I bet he does.
Because he is a hell of a kid, great kid, hell of a shooter. Adds that part to his game. Gonna be a hell of a player for himself and a hell of a player for us.
Well, before I read this card and throw a break, I'll just add one thing. When these kids sign up here, they know what they're signing up for, and they want to be part of something special. That's why they're here. Anyway, Michigan State men's basketball is presented by Rocket Mortgage. Rocket is helping more Americans own more of America. Your journey starts at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket, own the dream. We'll be back with more of the Tom Izzo Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance in a moment right here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Spartan fans, are you looking to grow with a company that cares about you, the environment, and your community? At Shupan, our commitment to a better world goes beyond recycling. We're a leading metals and plastics processor, recycler, and manufacturer, and we're looking for you. Join our team and find a career where you can grow and receive competitive wages, benefits, and monthly incentives. You'll be part of a team that's building a more resourceful future. Find your purpose and your career at Shupan.com. That's SCHUPAN.com. Go green.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
And welcome back as Auto Owners presents the Tom Izzo Show. Hey, don't forget when you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. And don't forget, Michigan State men's basketball is also presented by Rocket Mortgage, helping more Americans own more of America. Your journey starts at rocketmortgage.com. Rocket, own the dream. Well, don't go away with your questions because we have to go to break real quick here, but real fast. Abu Law Firm is proud to sponsor the Beyond the Arc campaign. We've talked about it every week. Every time we make it 3, they donate $25 to the Izzo Legacy Foundation, which is a good thing. And we're making 3s now. We're doing good.
We are making more 3s. I don't know. Hopefully our women make a lot of them tonight, so we'll see.
That'd be good. So we'll be back with some audience questions, but first we're going to take a break. Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance, as you are listening to the Tom Izzo Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Hey. This is Labatt, brewed for the fans who can't stop shouting shoot it, and the driveway heroes who still call raindrops on every brick. Make fun of a ref through the TV like he can hear you, then miss 3 straight free throws on your buddy's hoop. Argue every foul, celebrate every layup, and somehow think you're running the offense from Section 312. But that's the beauty of it. Basketball isn't just about the court, it's the noise, the passion, and the Labatt you're holding while you live it. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
We're back with more of the Spartan Basketball Tom Izzo Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. And every Spartan knows everybody needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Be good today. Myrtle Beach is home of some 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for a chance to win your very own beach break getaway. Compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to winner. Your ultimate beach break is just a click away. We figured out when we go to the Breslin Center to get doing our thing on Saturday morning, it's going to be 14 below. We're heading to the beach.
Beautiful. It's a good day to be in house.
That's right. It's good inside the Breslin Center. We got some questions, Tom.
Yep.
Great.
Jonathan from Lansing. I wanted to know what Cam Ward was thinking when he took that take foul in the backcourt the other night.
Ooh.
See, now you're trying to get me in trouble again, you know. So I said, I wasn't even upset because it was so bizarre. I thought something happened, you know. And he said, I was trying to stop the fast break. And I said, all the people were back. And he said, oh. And since we were up, 15, I gave him a hall pass and told him that, he shouldn't do that again. But when I was a kid, they had a show called Art Linkletter. Did anybody? And kids say the dumbest things, I think, is what wasn't that part of the show,
that was
right?
one of it.
Huh?
Yeah, that was one of it.
Yeah. All right. So he made a mistake, He got, I don't know if he was winded, tired. I don't know what he was.
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman.
That's what freshmen do.
That's what freshmen do. Okay.
That was a good one. Tom, in your opinion, Pat from Eaton Rapids, in your opinion right now, who would you pick, your team included, as the best team in the Big Ten at this point in the season?
I mean, unfortunately, I think Michigan is the best team. They got the most talent, and they're the best. They played the best. I think, Purdue is still really good, but that point guard has struggled a little bit. He's been up and down a little bit. That happens, boy, when you repeat and you come back, and Matt does it a lot like us. His margin for error is not real big because they're not over talented. Illinois is the biggest team you'll ever see. I mean, last night, I think the smallest guy on the floor they had was 6'6", and they had 2 7-footers and a 6'11" guy. That'll be the biggest team when they come to Breslin, and they're playing really well. I still think Wisconsin's a contender, and the outlier is Nebraska, and we went down there. Devine didn't play, he had been starting, and we had a 2 or 3 point lead late, and we lost it. A hell of a place to play. And everybody kind of looked at us, well, you lost to Nebraska. Now they're 19-0, and nobody is saying, boy, that Nebraska loss was a good loss, Right. Yeah. We lost to Nebraska and Duke, and between the two teams, they're 37-1 or 38-1. Right. So, I don't know. You know what I don't know, and this will play a factor, who has the best schedule and who. I heard we have one of the worst of the 5 teams. I don't know that. That came from some of the media guys, which, I don't know. Yeah. But I think that that will play a factor in it. It just will. But I think there's still 5 or 6 teams with 1 or 2 losses. So maybe 7 teams with 2 losses. So it's going to be second half of the season is going to be a fist fight.
What about nationally? Who do you got there? Right.
Nationally, I don't think Duke. I like Duke. I don't think they're the ones. I actually like Houston a little bit. I think they're pretty good, tougher nails. Kelvin Sampson, if you can believe this, I replaced him here at Michigan State. He was a GA here when I came, and
That's right. Yeah.
So Kelvin's doing a hell of a job with them. Name me a couple of the other teams. Arizona looks to be really good. I just don't see enough of them because they're a West Coast team, but Arizona's good. I mean, what's that?
Iowa State, yeah.
Iowa State, beat Purdue by 20 at Purdue.
Yay.
And yet then they lost a couple games but all those teams are good. The good news for me is I'm not afraid to play anybody.
I know.
But unfortunately, I think a lot of teams could beat us too. So on given days, what we have to do is keep our heads above water, keep focused on the job we have, which is Saturday, not listen to all the noise. All of a sudden now, networks want to come in and do interviews because we're getting to the second half, and that's when the double D's, the distractions and dirtbags come around. There'd be more people that want to infiltrate your situation. And so that's what I got to keep a hand on, is make sure that our players still understand what they've got to do. And so we'll have more meetings now. Like we had one tonight. We got one tomorrow morning at 8, and then we'll practice tomorrow afternoon. We'll have meetings at night. I always say, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. So try to stay up on, make sure that people, this is where my biggest pet peeve is tampering. And now as players get better, teams start tampering with these guys to transfer. And so we got a lot of those kind of things that are unfortunately not good in our profession right now.
Okay. Just keep in mind when you start talking about winning the league, the hardest thing to do is win the games you're supposed to. Mm-hmm. It's not the Michigan game. It's not the Purdue game.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
The Northwesterns. It's the Marylands right now.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing to do. People don't realize that.
It's good point, Mike. I'm glad you added that.
Yep. We got to go just for a minute. Okay. We're here live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing for all the MSU coaches shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, make good times great. We'll be back with more of the Coach Tom Izzo Show in a moment right here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
When it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic. Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
And thanks for joining us here at One North for the Tom Izzo Show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Well, guys, we got about a minute or so to go. What are you thinking, Tom, as we move forward?
Yeah, I'm concerned about the game. They got a kid that got 44 points in the game, and he's averaging 20-some, but he's averaging about 30 in the last 5 games. And a kid named Coit. And they're very athletic, not real big. So our big guys are going to have to guard great athletes. They won a game the other night over Penn State by 30, and then they lost to Illinois, which a lot of teams are going to lose at Illinois. So, I'm concerned about every game, and we're just trying to take them one game at a time. I know that's so coach cliche, but I mean it. And but I do appreciate you guys coming out in the cold. I really do, and I don't worry about it. It's 72 degrees, but wear your swimsuit Saturday. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's all good. I look forward to seeing you there, and thank you so much for all the support.
So we're on the air at 11 o'clock with our pregame show for the Maryland game. On Saturday, we tip it at noon. And our next Tom Izzo show will be Wednesday, January 28th. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Hope to see you then.
You've been listening to the Auto Owners Insurance presentation of the Tom Izzo Show, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Tom Izzo Show is also brought to you by One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of MSU Athletics. Labatt Blue Light, we're brewed for the roast. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Tom Izzo Show is a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all the Spartan basketball action on the Spartan Media Network.